Now, from the station on your side, this is WAVY News 10.
Tragedy shatters Virginia Beach.
A recovery is underway. A grieving is underway.
Today, we remember the lives lost. We thank those who put their lives on the line.
I can't tell you how many minutes shots were being fired. It was well into the double digits.
And care for those who will carry the burden for years to come.
So we stayed hunkered, we stayed still. It was like, what is he gonna do?
Shoulder to shoulder, hand in hand.
This rocked the foundation of Virginia Beach.
How the community forges ahead together. Good evening to you. To say that Virginia Beach is hurting is really an understatement. A city in shock has become a city of mourning. On this day, many of us normally pause to worship and to reflect. There's a renewed need to do so, and on this Sunday, we learned new details into the 36 minutes of terror inside Building 2. Today, police walked us through the timeline of events, which began at 4:08 Friday afternoon. Within 2 minutes, police were there. The chief says the suspect engaged with police in a lengthy firefight after taking the lives of his victims. He says that there was also the added challenge of an old building with many renovations, making Building 2 much of a maze of sorts. City Manager Dave Hansen also gave new information on the suspect, who he says gave his 2 weeks notice on Friday. He adds that the suspect had a clean personnel record.
As a manager, I have had a very thorough review of the status of the perpetrator. I have, to my knowledge, the perpetrator's performance was satisfactory, that he was in good standing within his department, and that there were no issues of discipline ongoing.
Police are still working on a motive to the shootings. Meantime, a memorial at the Municipal Center is growing by leaps and bounds. A line of 12 crosses, as well as a place for flowers and mementos, sits just steps from where the 12 victims' lives were cut so short. There are so many stories to tell and to be told over the next several days and weeks about the shootings, many of them about the 12 people who lost their lives in Building 2 on Friday afternoon. Friends, families, and coworkers are beginning to share those stories with us. And 10 on your side's Kayla Gaskins continues our coverage with someone who was there when the gunfire started. Kayla.
Yeah, Anita, the lives of the people who survived Friday's mass shooting will never be the same. Christy Dewar survived by barricading herself in an office with coworkers. She says she owes her life to her dear friend and colleague, Ryan Keith Cox, known by his friends and family as just Keith. He didn't make it out of Municipal Building 2 alive.
Christy Dewar was sitting at her desk on the second floor of Municipal Building 2 last Friday when a little after 4 p.m.
And I heard pop, pop, pop.
The building is under construction, so she assumed it was a nail gun. She was wrong.
And Claudia screamed, "This is not a drill, this is real. Get out of the building now."
She grabbed her purse and ran. In the chaos, she saw her close friend, Keith Cox.
But he said, "Get in Lloyd's office now. Barricade the office. Get in there." And I said, "Come on, Keith." And he said, "I got to check on everybody else." And we closed and locked the door. We pushed the cabinet up against the door. And it was not too long after that, Dwayne tried to come in. And he fired 4 shots. And I looked up, and 2 of the shots had almost come through the cabinet.
Eventually, the gunfire stopped, and the cops came to escort them to safety.
And Lloyd looked and said, "Keith is on the ground. Keith is on the floor." There was splintered wood all over the floor. Doors were busted off their hinges. One was just like hanging there. They couldn't stand the south stairwell. And there was a body there. I didn't know who it was, couldn't tell. And there's so much blood everywhere. And I started just shaking and crying, just heaving. And the officer said, "You're strong, you can do this. You need to step over and come with me." And I was like, "I can't." He said, "Yes, you can." And then I found out later that the person I had to step over was one of my friends, Missy.
After the incident, she reached out to Keith's parents. She wanted to let them know how brave their son was.
If it wasn't for him, there would have been 7 more people that had perished. He was a hero. A guardian angel that walked this earth that didn't deserve to leave us so soon.
We'll have the full, raw, emotional interview with Christy Dewar posted to WAVY.com. I'm Kayla Gaskins, 10 on your side.
So much heartbreak throughout Virginia Beach and beyond. So many families having to bury loved ones too soon. Laquita Brown was just 39 years old. She worked for Public Works for a little more than 4 years, and her father sure did love her a lot. 10 on your side's Tamara Scott has that story for us tonight. Tamara?
Well, I'm here at the memorial right outside of the police station, and what a difference a day makes. This has grown immensely. Now here sits 12 crosses representing those 12 lives, and this one here is Laquita Brown's cross. I spoke with her father today, who described her as a reincarnated Mother Teresa, someone who always wanted to do something for others, someone who didn't deserve this.
This is my pumpkins, man. She just hated being called a pumpkin in these older years. Yeah, that's my everything. My hands were the first hands to ever touch her.
Laquita Brown died Friday afternoon when a gunman shot and killed her and 11 others at her place of work. Friday was her father Dwight's birthday.
Went over my best friend's house, caused my birthday, his man cave, and we was watching the events folding on TV when my son called. He told me that my daughter was one of the people that had been shot.
The worst words a father ever wants to hear.
He said, "Dad, I got some bad news for you. Your Laquita she's been shot."
Early in the afternoon, he thought he would find her at a nearby hospital recovering. That wasn't the case.
Got there, and she wasn't there. I won't go into a lot of details, but she was never there. She was never at any hospital. She never made it up the building.
2 days later, he says there's only one thing holding him together.
My Heavenly Father.
Anger is the last thing on his mind.
I'm pretty sure there's lots. Thousands of people have been through more than I'm going through right now. So I can't afford that luxury of being angry. I'm just sad.
He says because his daughter, who was fluent in 3 languages and made a mission to help others in life, didn't deserve this.
Who needs a multiple magazine for what? I mean, I feel everybody has the right to defend themselves, but you don't need multiple magazines to defend yourself. If anybody can rationalize that, it's not rational.
He says they had a great relationship, a great father and daughter relationship. For now, he says he is trying to stay strong for his family, but expects in the next coming days to be the hardest. He just asks for any prayers. For now, in Virginia Beach, Tamara Scott, 10 on your side.
They certainly feel for all of these families, and we do have some breaking news that we need to get to. Not something that we want to tell you about after everything that's happened, but Norfolk police are on the scene right now of a homicide on East Brambleton Avenue. This is in the Young Terrace neighborhood. The victim, just 15 years old. This happened around 10 o'clock. No suspect information yet. We are going to keep you updated online, and tomorrow morning on WAVY News 10 today you can get an update. Still ahead at 11, Virginia's largest city in mourning.
When it comes so close to home, I think it's a little different and it hits you just a little harder.
How some are finding comfort in each other's arms on this long road to healing and trying to get back to a new normal. Updates on when the Municipal Center will reopen.
I'm watching showers and storms across our area. They are moving across central Virginia. However, there's not as many that I was expecting at this point. Just a few out there west of Petersburg and Emporia. So far, so good. Into tomorrow we have the sunshine, but tonight there still could be some storms rolling through. I'll show you the latest and tell you my thoughts on what we could see tonight in just a bit.
We're back with an update heading into a new week. City offices at the Virginia Beach Municipal Center will be closed on Monday. City Manager Dave Hansen says Building 2 will be closed indefinitely. That's, of course, where the massacre unfolded Friday afternoon. All public schools and courts will operate on a normal schedule tomorrow. Hansen expects to reopen offices at the Municipal Center on Tuesday. Still ahead, unimaginable loss. Hear from friends, family, and strangers as they process Friday's massacre. Many are struggling to understand how this type of tragedy in Virginia Beach could even happen. Today, they sought spiritual solace at places of worship around Hampton Roads. 10 on your side's Aisha Tolliver visited Trinity Church's service on hope and healing.
In the face of evil,
it is such a joy to come together, all of us together this morning.
Community members came together by the ocean in prayer.
Everybody walks through grief in their own way. And so we want to give people grace to do that in a way that's comfortable for them.
Tourists and locals from all walks of life gathered at Neptune Park to mourn and lift up the victims.
Very emotional, especially after what happened on Friday. Everything is very emotional. It's hard to keep it all in.
So won't you please pray with me?
A prayer for strength in a time of weakness.
And forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us.
And a moment of silence for those who lost their lives.
Lakita Brown, Tara Gallagher, Mary Gale, Alexander Gusev, Catherine Nixon, Richard Nettleton, Christopher Rapp, Keith Cox, Joshua Hardy, Missy Langer, Bobby Williams, and Bert Snelling.
We figured with this many people here, we could really make a significant impact.
The offering went around and every dollar dropped will be donated to the shooting victims.
In a time like this, we answer with our presence. We answer by showing up, and we keep showing up. We answer by coming together as a community. We answer by crying on each other's shoulder.
Trinity Church pastor Randy Singer spoke a message of perseverance, not just as a church leader, but from the heart of a man who calls Virginia Beach home.
I love this place. I love our friends. I love our community, and I'm hurting for our city right now. And I know that some of you are hurting for our city as well.
It's tragic when it happens anywhere, and I think you become emotional, but when it comes so close to home, I think it's a little different, and it hits you just a little harder.
But most importantly, the service was a glimpse of the peace to come.
There will be a day when the sun seems like it's shining again, and where from the ashes, faith arises and hope arises.
The members of Trinity Church also have a tent set up near the memorial. They'll have cold water and also some members of the church there. So if you need a shoulder to cry on or someone to pray with you, they're there for that support. In Virginia Beach, I'm Aisha Tolliver, 10 on your side.
So many people are going to need that support. A woman who knows the harsh realities of these mass shootings spoke at a local vigil. It was a full room inside the Piney Grove Church on Holland Road in Virginia Beach. One of those who spoke to worshipers, Rose Ann Simmons. She is the daughter of Reverend Daniel Simmons, who has family in Newport News. He was killed during the Charleston, South Carolina church massacre.
As time goes on, it does get better, maybe not easier, but they will be able to couple all of their feelings together, and there is a light at the end of the tunnel.
Toward the end of the service, the congregation lit candles for all 12 of the victims.
Now, your Super Doppler 10 forecast with meteorologist Jeff Edmondson.
Well, good evening. We do have a few chances still for some showers and some rain to move through the area, maybe some thunderstorms too, but I'm not as worried or as expecting to see widespread severe weather. I don't believe that's going to happen tonight. Outside now, we do have some clouds passing by. Some of you are still seeing rainfall across the Hampton Road cities. I'm seeing a few showers still developing here as we go into our night ahead. 88 degrees was our high temperature today, above the average high of 80. The next couple of days ahead are going to be below that average high. We'll be looking at temps in the 70s. That's where we are right now. Our numbers are still in the mid-70s across the region. We did have some afternoon showers and storms that did develop across the south side cities and into North Carolina. Did even get a little bit of hail around Elizabeth City earlier. You had around dime-size hail from that storm that moved through your region. But now that's gone. Here's the front right here. I'm looking at satellite first just because I want to show you where the thunderstorms and the activity is really happening. There's not a lot. It's very few and far between. There's not a lot of clouds out there. Here's the radar turned on. very ragged storms moving into the northern neck. Also some activity across the eastern shore right now, too. I'm watching this just north of Cape Charles near Eastville and Machapongo. You have a couple of showers and some storms rolling through your area. These aren't going to be a problem, just the garden variety. Further to the west of us, I'm watching a couple of other small areas of thunderstorms that are popping up, but once again, these are both very ragged and they're moving very slowly, about 20 to 30 miles an hour to the east, so I don't believe they would be able to survive. Across the region here, I looked at the atmosphere. There's a couple of things that you need to have severe weather. One, you need lift. That comes from the front. That's there. You need heat and humidity. There's a little bit of that, but you also need high wind speeds in the upper levels of the atmosphere, and we don't have that right now. That ingredient is starting to fall apart. That ingredient allows the storms to get stronger. It gives them a little bit of tilt, so there can be a solid updraft, there can be a solid downdraft, and that's not really present. So I'm not as worried and as expecting to see a lot of widespread severe storms across our area tonight. Storm Prediction Center saying the same thing. So we're looking okay for tonight. Some of you may not get any rain at all. Here's a look at 4 a.m. A few scattered showers moving through the area still possible. There's some around sunrise, but once again, it doesn't look like that we're going to see that much overnight now. Tomorrow, here's the change. So we have the cooler air, we have the lower humidity, but it's also going to be quite windy too. Winds will be out of the north tomorrow all day at 10 to 20, so plan on that. We'll have the sunshine. It's just going to be a really windy day. Winds will be also strong across the eastern shore, peninsula. Your temperatures will be in the mid-70s tomorrow, so it'll be a lot cooler than average. We didn't have a lot of these days last month, so we're getting a few of them here for the beginning of our June. However, it's not going to stay cool in relation to where we're going. Wednesday, 88, Thursday, 88. We're going to see a lot of heat and humidity and also good chances for storms really starting Wednesday night and going into next weekend every single day, it looks like right now. Temperatures Monday night, though, going back to the next few days ahead, look cool. We'll see lows in the 50s and maybe even in the upper 40s. Anita?
Thank you, Jeff. Still ahead, showing support what local school districts are asking you to do tomorrow to honor the victims. Many people, as well as businesses, are looking for ways to remember the victims and to thank police for stopping the suspect before it got worse. The owner of Sal's Pizza put up a sign at his Virginia Beach location on South Plaza Trail offering free lunch to first responders. He says his heart hurts for the victims, many of which he knew personally.
You know, at least 8 of the victims, they used to come here all the time, having a lunch with us. They are very sweet people. They are nice people. Bobby, he's the oldest guy. He worked for the city 41 years in the city. He came here all the time. That we call him pepperoni guys because he usually order 2 slice pepperoni and Diet Pepsi. We're gonna miss him a lot.
Sal's also has a familiar hashtag that you will see in windows across the area, and that is VB Strong. Wear blue tomorrow. That is the message from schools around Hampton Roads. Districts around the area are asking students, staff, and teachers to wear blue in honor of the victims. Virginia Beach, Hampton, Gloucester, Portsmouth, I just saw Suffolk and Chesapeake are among those participating. Head on over to WAVY.com for a complete list. WAVY TV 10 and Fox 43 are joining with Town Bank, United Way, and 92.9 The Wave to bring healing to our community. The Virginia Beach Tragedy Fund benefits the victims and families of those killed and wounded. Town Bank is starting with a donation of $500,000, but no matter how big or small, you can make a contribution online or by text message as well. Find out how on WAVY.com. Our coverage of the tragedy in Virginia Beach continues on WAVY News 10 today, starting at 4:30 a.m. The local news continues on Fox 43 from 7 to 9 a.m. and we'll update you anytime as well on WAVY.com. Tonight we want to leave you with the faces that we hope you'll never forget.